Blake Lively continues to make headlines.
You think I want to make you pay?
This was my first time as a villain.
I think about her all the time. The faceless blonde I thought I knew.
Because someone spoke to me improperly on the phone, and I was deeply upset by this conversation, and I was therefore incapable. I could not trust myself to go live, or I would have just been naming names, and I would have been ratchet and out of control.
I always say a broken clock is right twice a day, but I'm not here to call Candace Owens a broken clock. She is sort of like anti-establishment. She's really hard to lock down because she, might be pro a stance that you're against and vice versa.
Candace Owens exposes the New York Times and Blake Lively. At this point, Justin Baldoni should just hire Candace onto his legal team.
For years, Blake Lively has been viewed as the pinnacle of charm, talent, and grace. Hollywood's golden girl with a seemingly perfect reputation. But recently, outspoken critic Candace Owens appeared on live television with accusations that might ruin this polished persona. Owens alleged that beneath Lively's wholesome exterior hides a record of secret legal settlements, concealed controversies, and a past that Hollywood has struggled tirelessly to keep buried.
At what point did it become clear to you that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown? Was it right after was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Brian Friedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the texts? Or was it right away when the Times wrote?
Right away. I've always had an intuition about her, and I've always had an intuition about Taylor Swift and like the branding of the nice girl stuff. And something just I went through Justin Baldoni's Instagram, and he just seemed like a puppy. And it just didn't add up to me that this guy was secretly just dying to talk about pornography all the time and talk about his porn addiction and wanted her to look at pornography. I'm going, this is not the Instagram feed I'm looking through. And I went back years, and I was frustrated by how nice
phony,
he was.
And he's doing TED Talks about, we men need to be better. I mean, he's that man bun, male apologist. That it would really fly in the face of everything he's put out there about himself. So, yeah, that would be odd. I wonder if they ever looked in his Instagram.
Pass the sniff test.
It's crucial to highlight that these claims remain unproven and purely theoretical. No solid proof has been shown, and Lively herself has not publicly responded to any of the allegations in depth. However, the internet is abuzz, and the controversy has grown wildly on its own. Whether these accusations carry any truth or are just another instance of exaggerated media, the effect on Lively's career and public image is undeniable.
Listen to me, Blake Lively. Tap out, call uncle right now. Please take my advice. Narrator, she did not listen. She did not take my advice at all. I said that having read through Blake Lively's complaints, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaint. Not under the influence of drugs, not under the influence of alcohol, but of the influence of proximity to Taylor Swift. Maybe one Eras tour too many had been attended by her and Ryan, and they were just feeling like they were Taylor Swift. I just recognized her brand of feminism, and I called that name. I said that before we even knew that Taylor Swift was somehow involved in this entire debacle, okay?
Now Blake has built her career on the persona of the ultimate girl next door. Classy, elegant, scandal-free. But according to Candace, that's all a cleverly built illusion concealing something far, far darker. And Candace didn't just toss hints. She arrived equipped with what she claims are receipts, documents, evidence that could supposedly unmask Blake Lively in ways that no one anticipated. And Blake, she snapped.
Now that there has been a little bit of a pause in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case, there was just so many new documents coming out. We could, really couldn't sift through it all. A lot of people are asking questions about who is Tara Keat. Now, Tara Keat was mentioned by Megan Twohey in the New York Times article, but never made its way through the actual complaint.
Remember in which Tara Keat was cited as saying essentially that the media environment around Blake Lively given all the negative press coverage, appeared to be manipulated.
So Terrakeet was a company that was meant, I guess by Blake Lively's side, to give a professional opinion that the traffic around Blake Lively was actually manipulated. So here's what they had to say, and credit to Team Justin Baldoni here on the subreddit for pulling this up. They said there's no mention of the company Terrakeet in Blake Lively's complaint or lawsuit. So where did Megan Twohey get that info about Terrakeet for her article? Now, of course, that she got it from Blake Lively.
Stay with us because by the end of this segment, you might never see Blake Lively the same way again. What started as a typical episode of Candace Owens' show swiftly took a shocking twist when she made a bold assertion with confidence. Owens declared, "Funny how Hollywood loves to preach morality while shielding predators like Blake Lively." The statement alone was enough to spark chaos across social media, leaving viewers stunned. The studio allegedly fell into silence before Owens pressed on, saying, "I have the receipts and America deserves to know."
Yeah.
And I knew a bit about her. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of was one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life and you're used to getting whatever it is that you want. So I just kind of had her down to a prototype and said, I'm going to pump the brakes and see what happens. And then when Brian Friedman came back with the facts, they were just undeniable. You know, it was undeniable and it contextualized everything. And it really was quite horrific because you just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing and doesn't include the proper context of these things? Like, he showed me a pornographic video on the phone. Oh, you meant a birth video of his wife? Like, nobody's looking at live birth porn. And so it was monstrous what she did, and she's got to pay for it.
Blake versus Justin front?
Who I am is a work in progress.
Blake got the internet buzzing by making a false reference in her filing to Justin's 5 mistresses and 5 psychiatrists. Turns out that was apparently a sarcastic comment made by Justin's legal team as they complained about Blake's desperate search for evidence.
Baldoni's lawyers are saying that this is all a fishing expedition and Lively's looking for things that don't exist. They made that comment in jest and potentially is causing Baldoni damage. So it's something that he's going to use. They're doing everything they can because this is a very nasty fight.
Owens didn't offer instant evidence, but hinted that Lively's past involved a hidden legal settlement during her Gossip Girl era, several NDAs signed to hush up events with cast and crew, and a meticulously crafted good girl image created to mask troubling actions.
It's essentially a request for documents that could indeed be extremely relevant to the case. And they're saying, we only want this to be shared between the attorneys, not even with the parties to the suit. So that means, Brian Friedman can see it, their lawyers can see it, but we're talking like not even Melissa Nathan or Justin Baldoni could see it because it might be very damaging to third parties. So to give you an example, if Brian Friedman subpoenas Taylor Swift's text messages, wink, wink, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. And it reveals that actually Taylor Swift was LOLing with Blake Lively about being a dragon. She was like, yeah, I'm a dragon. Rawr. And she was like plotting the takeover of the movie because she's bored and it's Tuesday and Joe Alwyn isn't responding to her text messages anymore and she's already finished her album. Well, Blake Lively's team is essentially requesting the rights for their attorney to just designate that AEO, attorney eyes only, because that might unfairly harm the reputation of Taylor Swift. If the judge actually grants that kind of a protection order, the attorneys would become the judge of what exactly could be designated AEO.
Perhaps the most jarring suggestion in Owens' remarks was the allusion to possible criminal allegations. Though she didn't specify what they involved, she vowed, however, that she'd soon reveal documents. As with many high-profile exposés, the lack of immediate proof raises doubts about whether this is a real scandal or merely an effort to stir drama.
The proposed PO differs from this court's model PO primarily by adding the following: an attorney's eyes only category, which applies to confidential discovery material of such so that's what they were alleging.
If sources are to be trusted, Lively didn't accept these accusations calmly. Reports indicate that instead of releasing a carefully crafted PR statement, she allegedly erupted with anger privately. Some insiders claim that she berated her team, venting frustration over the fact that this information wasn't suppressed earlier. Others say she promptly pursued legal action against Owens and directed her attorneys to stop any further discussion.
Somebody is doing some serious damage control when you get a chance, jump onto your Instagram and tell me if you're following Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I do not follow them, and today, this morning, miraculously, I started following them.
That's not the case for me, but I think that was happening with a lot of people in Australia, apparently. So what is going on? Did they get Candace? Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if this was Ryan and Blake. Or, the French.
Adding intrigue to the saga, Lively's social media crew reportedly started removing old posts, prompting some to wonder if she was attempting to scrub traces of something from her history. However, without clear proof, this could just as easily be a standard PR tactic rather than an admission of guilt. Despite the lack of confirmation, the public's response was rapid. Many noted that when a celebrity reacts with fury instead of a simple denial, it often fuels suspicion. However, others argue that Lively has every right to be furious if the allegations are false and defamatory. That
Perez Hilton, who has been covering this extensively, has a conflict of interest because apparently he was a client to Brian Friedman. But there's a little bit of dirt thrown on me here because I'm the only other person that gets mentioned. And I want to be clear. They said at least one of whom just so happens. So they're like kind of trying to signal like, oh, but Candace could be too. So let me clarify. I have never spoken to Brian Friedman in my life. And it hurts me deeply. As I said to you guys, like he and I are connected in the stars or something. Like, he might be my brother from another mother. I've never spoken to Justin Baldoni. He's literally my cousin. Okay, so we're talking about a family that's been torn apart. We've never even met each other. We're a long lost family. So don't you try to put this little, ooh, maybe even other people, because then they mention me. And I'm not sure what argument they're making because I'm not sure what argument they're ever making because their entire lawsuit is just filled with contradictions. But they use my tweet and they say, late last night, which was what I said, I tweeted this, late last night while we all slept, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds filed a protective order. The guilty as sin couple is asking a judge to protect from the public some confidential documents and names that will be gathered in the discovery process. And then after they put my tweet, they write, predictably, the media outlets picked up the same narrative. Okay, yeah, but that's what you did. Like, what am I guilty of here?
Owens has continually teased that she holds papers proving Lively's past ties to legal settlements and NDAs. While nothing has been officially unveiled, online detectives have started investigating, and some unconfirmed discoveries have emerged. Among the rumored pieces of evidence are a 2010 payout linked to a Gossip Girl crew member, allegedly connected to a workplace conflict, buried tabloid stories about Lively's rumored on-set outbursts that occasionally turned hostile, claims from ex-staff who allegedly signed NDAs barring them from revealing her true off-camera conduct. One of the most serious accusations is that a former co-star was compensated after an unspecified event, with Owens claiming to have bank records to prove it. Again, these claims are purely speculative at this point, and no official evidence has surfaced. Until Owens presents her supposed documents, all of this remains in the realm of unverified rumors.
What happened to Candace Owens' IG page? All her posts, poof, gone. Candace, who has been covering the whole It Ends With Us drama between Blake, Justin, Ryan. And this comes a day after the whole Be Better's post was taken down. He basically had to legally threaten them to get the post back up. Her TikTok is still up. I'm pretty sure her YouTube is still up. And yeah, it's a little off. And she posts on IG, I feel like more than on TikTok, honestly. So, however, guys, I know she's also covering, she's exposing France right now. Apparently doing a Becoming Bridget series that apparently is pissing off the French. I know nothing about that. What I do know is how she has been exposing Blake and Ryan Reynolds. And also, some people were saying their IG accounts would just instantly be following Blake and Ryan. They would just check and they've never followed them, but then it said they were following them.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are enduring heavy trolling following the debut of the trailer for Blake's upcoming film, Another Simple Favor. What should have been a thrilling promotional moment for the actress has instead become a struggle, as online detractors flood social media with harsh remarks. The backlash has made it tough for the film's marketing team to build positive excitement, putting the movie's success at potential risk.
Here's some real darkness. You're gonna see what I mean.
Of course, as the It Ends With Us legal war continues, there are challenges of promoting the film.
It was just the best experience.
The studio turned off comments on the movie's trailer after trolls
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
9 days at the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival. The red carpet will not be live streamed, and it's unclear if Blake will do interviews at the festival or ever for the movie. Another PR crisis, new viral videos of celebs coming for Ryan.
Yeah, not great to us. He didn't want to be by us.
To former co-star Matthew Lawrence.
I did do a movie with
Oh,
Ryan.
really?
He was a total schlub then.
The funny part about it is that the production team was having a really hard time with Ryan. This is young Ryan. He'd walk out, just wanted to kind of do his thing. He was like, I'm doing my thing. Thank you, Brandon. I love the movie.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Oh, God.
It's cool. It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sorry, what do you call her? Do you guys have a nickname or something? Okay, no, just so it's Mrs. Okay. I saw this photo. It was very suggestive. So I got it right here. I'm gonna get right to it. How do you explain that? The genetics? You have some sort of low-angle squat routine to pop that region in that way? I mean, what's going on here, man? Are you smuggling pumpkins? Got a couple of small pumpkins there? Jesus Christ, my heart is beating like crazy right now. It reminds me of when I went on that meth journey.
Hollywood is observing closely, and the world is awaiting the next development in this unfolding saga. Whether Blake Lively's career suffers a major blow, or whether she emerges from this unscathed, one thing is clear. Speculation alone is enough to unsettle even the biggest names. At this point, the only question left is, will Candace Owens deliver real proof? Or is this just another instance of groundless accusations fueled by online frenzy? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below.